Namaste. I'm Haliwa Kastora, a certified Iyengar yoga teacher, and today we're practicing Padma Asana and Padma Asanas. So not only lotus pose, but some of the poses, many of the poses in Light on Yoga that have full Padmasana, not half Padmasana, but full Padmasana in them. It would be interesting to go through Light on Yoga and take out all of the poses that have even one Padmasana leg in them and create a sequence. So maybe that's a blog coming soon for you. Okay, so this sequence requires that you can do Padmasana. So we just practiced Padmasana in the sequence before this one. So I'm going to take my right leg in and then my left leg into Padmasana. So the first pose is Padmasana with the arms in Urdhva Asana. And when the arms are up with the body in a seated position, the pose is called Parfitt Asana. In this pose, the chin comes to the chest, and the inner wrists reach up as the chest goes down. And then see how I change the interlace of my fingers? And I keep my outer shoulders and upper arms moving down, and my upper arms drawn back into the sockets as I come to Parfitt Asana and Virasana. Okay, now from here, I'm going to take my hands to the floor and watch how I reach from my inner ankles to my inner heels, and I move my inner heels closer to my navel. So do you see how the sides of my navel are starting to move back towards the back of my body, and that's taking the top of my sacrum back towards the wall behind me. And then from here, I'm going to round my upper back and press my hands down like I would in Adho Mukha Svanasana and bring my knees up towards my chest to come to Tolasana, the scales pose. The next pose is Simhasana. So a Sima is a lion, okay? And in the final version of this pose, you gaze at the space between your two eyebrows and you stick your tongue out. This pose is curative for bad breath. So it's like upward facing dog, except the legs are in Padmasana. So see how I come to Tolasana and then bring my knees to the floor and take my hands to the floor in front of me. Now if my hands are too close in, I'm not going to be able to open the space between the top of my thighs and my pelvis. So see how I take my hands forward and then I unbend my hips and I roll over my knees to my inner knees. And then from here, once I've opened my groins, see how I roll my shoulders back, look up and roar. Okay, now I'm going to scoot closer to the front of my mat and come to Monte Asana, the fish pose. So Monte Asana is another backward extension with the legs in Padmasana, except it's done lying on the back. So see how I reach for the outer edges of my feet. And again, I open those groins like I just did in Monte Asana. As my knees come to the floor, I lift my back off the floor and come onto the crown of my head. See how I keep my shoulder blades pressing up towards the ceiling. I don't let them move down as I reach for my elbows and pull them down. As the elbows go down, the shoulders go up. To come up, lie flat, bring your knees into the chest, and then press your elbows and your hands down to come up. The next pose is called Cumin Toxin. So in Cumin Toxin, I'm going to insert my hands in the space and my forearms in the space between my thighs and my shins. So see how the leggings help. Now watch how, just like I did in Tolasana, I'm going to draw the sides of my navel back by pressing my inner heels into those two sides, and then lean forward onto my hands and lift up. The next pose is called Asana. It's the embryo in the womb pose. So see how I'm bending my elbows after I've inserted them all the way through that space between my thighs and my calves. And then the bending of the elbows brings the legs closer in, but I also have to pull with my arms, my chest, towards my legs. And then I grab my ears. The next pose is called Gorakshasana. It's the cowherd pose. And it's sort of going to start like Simhasana 2. And I want you to see how I, from Tolasana, start to come towards Simhasana, that lion pose, but then I take this block in front of me and I stand up on my knees. Now watch as I walk my knees in towards each other, and again I unfold that skin from the inner ankle, I reach to the inner heel. And then watch how I press my knees down and lift my armpits as far up and away from the floor as I can, and I attempt to balance. If one balances for even a second in this pose, one feels the greatest elation, BK Iyengar says in Light on Yoga. Okay, now I'm going to turn around so you can see how I'm going to take my left arm and swing it around to grab my top foot, which is my left foot. I'm going to take my right arm, reach around, and swing it around, and grab my bottom foot, which is my right foot. Now I'll show you from the front how I reach around. And I can even twist towards my left leg to help me grab my big toe. Do you see that? And I can lean over to the left leg to reach around and grab the right toe. Now from here, this is Vada Pav Asana. I'm going to exhale, bend forward over my right knee. Exhale, bend forward over my left knee. And then exhale and bend forward between my two knees. And just like Chaturanga Dandasana, I roll my shoulders back and keep my inner upper arms lifting as I come to Padma Asana. So that is Padma Asana and the Padma Asana series of yoga asanas. I want you to see how I'm taking my legs out of Padma Asana after being there for a while. I'm holding my ankle, bringing my feet to the floor, and coming back to Dandasana. So I hope you'll attempt this challenging family of poses, and as with any family of poses, the more you practice them, the more time you spend with them on your mat, the deeper your relationship with